Hello and welcome to Get Collected. I'm your host, Soul Brother Mike, and it's Tuesday, January 24th, 2017, and you're listening to Season 2, Episode 2. Get Collected is co-hosted by Chrissy Cochran.
Hello.
Today in What's the Deal, I'm talking about the open call to sing on my album and talking about Trump and the Women's March. And here's something, Chrissy is sharing with you her Song for Lou. Then in the last part of today's show, we're doing a new segment called Specific Awesomeness, and we'll be focusing on a specifically awesome drum solo. So let's get to the show. So what's the deal? Here's the deal. I have announced an open call to singers around the world to join my album. If you can sing and feel like lending your voice to my song, head over to soulbrothermike.com/open call. The song is called Peace and Power, and I'm going to share a clip of it right now with you. Have a listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. People with peace need to share their power, 'cause people need power for peace. How can you live without one or the other? Power to the people. So if you can sing that melody, email it over to soulbrothermichael@gmail.com. I would love to add your voice to my song. So since our last episode, Donald J. Trump has been inaugurated as the 45th President of the United States. The inauguration had a modest crowd, which was followed the day after by a gigantic women's march. The turnout for the inauguration was somewhere between 250,000 and 750,000, while the total number of protesters in the women's march across the United States was closer to 3.3 million people. Unfortunately, these voices were not only ignored, but they were countered by actions by Donald J. Trump. Chrissy, tell us about those actions.
On Monday, Trump reinstated an executive order that bans U.S. foreign aid from going to any non-governmental organization that either provides access to or even just information about abortion for its patients. That's roughly $600 million a year of international assistance for family planning and reproductive health programs, which is about half of all donor assistance for women's contraceptives for 27 million women around the world. This order was first implemented by Reagan in '84, then repealed by Bill Clinton, then reinstated by George W. Bush and repealed again by Barack Obama. It's important to note that none of that $600 million is actually spent on abortions themselves, which has been prohibited since 1973. The order, which is also referred to as the Global Gag Rule, or GGR, effectively exports the U.S. abortion wars overseas where foreign women are the casualties. Because these same organizations also provide contraception, the loss of funding decreases access to birth control and thus creates more unwanted pregnancies and higher abortion rates. The World Health Organization estimates that 21 million women have unsafe abortions each year in developing countries. One organization alone, Marie Stopes International, estimates that in Trump's first term, their loss of services will result in 21,000 maternal deaths from unsafe abortions. That's just from the loss of funding to one organization. Thousands of innocent women are going to die because of this rule, so for those of you who say American politics only affects Americans, you're wrong. The GGR also hampers HIV prevention because it causes the closure of clinics and suspends shipments of condoms and contraceptives from U.S. aid. When Bush reinstated the GGR, 1 in 4 women were infected with HIV in the country of Lesotho in Africa. There's a photo circulating of Trump signing this and other executive orders surrounded by 6 white men in suits. One Twitter user captioned the photo saying, "As long as you live, you'll never see a photograph of 7 women signing legislation about what men can do with their reproductive organs." In my estimation, since this is a completely illogical way to reduce the number of abortions in the world, legislation like this only serves to endanger and punish women simply for existing.
So now for the next part of today's show called Here's Something. Today, Chrissy is sharing with you a song for Lou. Chrissy, tell us about it.
I've been hard at work on my songwriting requests this year, and we've decided to share one with you. So this is the first song that I have written in 2017 for a little baby named Louise. Enjoy.
Little Lou, how do you do? All of the light that made you is shining. Soft moonbeams and heavenly daydreams. We gathered up stardust just for you. However you do, whatever you do, there will be hands to hold you and hearts to love you, little Lou. Little go on, but take it slow. You've got time to grow. Go on, but take it slow. You've got time to grow. Go on, but take it slow. You've got time to grow. However you do, whatever you do, there will be hands to hold you and hearts to love you, little Lou. Little Lou.
So that was Song for Lou by Chrissy Cochran. Reach out to her on Twitter at Chrissy Cochran to let her know what you thought. So now for the last part of today's show called Specific Awesomeness. This is a new segment that focuses on specific moments in music that blow us away, usually focusing on a specific instrument as well. Today we are focusing on a specifically awesome drum solo by Brandon Temple of Sit Down Servant. This solo occurs late in the track of Yakirmo Sue. Sit Down Servant is a musical duo comprised of Brandon Temple and Gordie Johnson. I had the extreme pleasure of working with Gordie Johnson in May 2015 in Austin, Texas. At that time, he was reviewing the master of the self-titled album that this song is featured on, and I was blown away by the overall vibe of the album. To me, it has this Hawaiian cowboy flavor that is totally unique and gratifying. So have a listen to this specifically awesome drum solo by Brandon Temple of Sit Down Servant in the song Yakirmo Sue. So that was the drum solo by Brannon Temple of Sit Down Servant and the song Yakirmo Sioux. I reached out to Gordy Johnson about this song, this specific moment, and about working with Brannon. So Gordy replied, Yakirmo Sioux translates from Amharic roughly to man of the future or modern man in English. If memory serves, we played this song once in the studio. The recording is a document of Brannon's first emotional reaction to the music. Witnessing his execution of any song has on many occasions rendered me dumbstruck. This is just one example. All right, that's our show for today. Thanks so much for listening. Tune back in on Thursday for an all-new Get Poetic. We'll be sharing some Martin Luther King Jr., so stay tuned and stay collected.